DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky Beat. Hey, what is up, mixers? Sorry we were late. Welcome back to another glorious episode of the Mix and Vixens. My name is Emily, also known as Millen Icon in the interweb circles of DIY mixing. Let's say hello to the other Vixens. First up, we've got the lovely Lumi.
What's up? I liked the first intro better. Just saying, I really liked the first intro that we did.
All right, let's redo it.
Try again.
We've got Jen, the Juice Fairy. Hello, Jen.
How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Have you had a good weekend?
Last but not least, we've got Mixtress Rin.
Hey.
Hey, ho. How's it going? How's everyone's weekend?
Fantastic. Really good. I've been memeing away on Facebook. I've just been throwing random shit out there because the world's too damn serious right now. And it just, sometimes I have written out some shit and I was like, you know what? I'm not helping the problem. And I delete it. But other than that, it's great.
Nice. Rin, what did you do this weekend?
I went bowling. Went to Walmart for the first time since everything went down. Made some soap. You can kind of see it right there, some of them.
Cool.
What scent are you using? All the are they essential oils or do you have some fragrances?
I have both. I try to use only essential oils on like stuff I plan to use on my body because I'm very sensitive. For my hand soaps or for other people I know that don't have issues, I can use the fragrance oils. I did some dragon's blood for the first time. If you've ever smelled the incense, it smells like that. It's really good. Some orange. And then I did a couple unscented from a rebatch soap because it's my first time doing a rebatch. It's a whole other thing, but I wanted to leave it unscented because I plan to use that probably on my body. So I left it alone. But yeah, a lot of trial and error with these things.
Are you having fun with it at least?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a lot like DIY in the aspect, you're still working with like finding out a blend of things instead of flavor, it's scent.
It sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
It's usable too, so it's not like just a hobby that you're doing for others. I mean, it doesn't matter if you make too much of it, you'll eventually go through it.
Yeah, especially right now, soap, very useful.
Yeah, wash them hands.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do this weekend?
I changed my sleep schedule. I'm trying to start sleeping actual nighttime now.
Oh, that's good.
Are you doing that on purpose?
Yes.
Why?
Because graveyard shift really sucks when you wake up at I'd find myself going to bed somewhere between, ideally it would be 7 a.m., but then I'd end up not going to sleep until like 12 and sometimes even 1 p.m. And then you just sleep the whole day away and then you're up all night when it's literally pitch black and you can't do shit outside. Can't do shit.
Yeah.
And is your husband still on graveyard though?
Yes.
Oof.
So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment change. I'm a little crabby and feisty.
What, you've been up since like 3 this morning?
Yep. I got like 6 hours of sleep, and then I was able to take like 2 cycles of a nap. And then just decided I was awake at 3 a.m. And then I brought Tira down to my in-laws' house where my mother-in-law told me I'm getting fat. That's awesome. That's awesome.
There's nothing fat about you.
Getting
Yeah,
fat.
that's my stuff.
That booty though.
That booty though,
The damn curves.
there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's this thing called like cyclical sleep or something where you basically sleep like 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah,
For,
fuck
like,
those people that can
2
do
or
that
3
shit.
hours.
No, I can't
Or
do
like
that.
intermittent sleep or something, or you
You can forget it.
Yeah, people will have like
It's
special
nap.
alarms that will wake you up during certain cycles of your REM cycles and stuff.
Yeah.
Nope, fuck that.
Although lately, I don't know what is up with my system, but like, I'll wake up at 4 in the morning and just be ready for the day and cannot go back to sleep, and it pisses me off because
You know what you do when that happens? Literally stand up, walk across the house, and then come back and lay down. Because if you stay in the bed, your brain is functioning. But if you make your body stand up and then come back to bed, for some reason you're able to go back to sleep.
See, I would think it would be the opposite because I figure like once I wake up, I'm getting old. I have to go to the bathroom as soon as I wake up. So like I get up anyway and I go to the bathroom and then that I figure, or I thought that my thought process was, well, that wakes me up. So like that's why I can't get back to sleep. So normally I just get up and then just like go on Facebook for a little bit. Sometimes
If you're not asleep within like 20 minutes of waking up, you need to just wake up and do something until you can fall back to sleep.
Yeah. Normally I'll watch YouTube videos and that'll get me back in the mode and I can go back to sleep for another couple hours sometimes. But and then others I'm not, and I can't go back to sleep, and so I'm just up. Like
I've been waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning with my husband, which is very annoying because I can't get to sleep till 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning is not giving me my beauty sleep. So then at lunchtime, I have to take a 20, 30-minute nap to be able to make it through the rest of the day. Otherwise, I'm falling asleep at 4, but then I get that second wind at 7 and still can't go to sleep till 10 or 11.
Well, sleep is tough. Like, and you're a completely different person when you don't have enough sleep, you know? Like, it's important.
I'm impossible.
All right, you know what? Let's talk about some mixing, guys. How did you like mixing this profile up?
I should have stuck with my original recipe.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Originally for this week I used different flavors, but I did manage to find myself some s'mores. So last minute I just scrapped the whole recipe because I was like, I'm not really that big of a fan of it, but it was way better than the s'mores one.
I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy vaping chocolate myself, but I enjoy mixing it and coming up with something good, if that makes any sense.
I don't either. Like, I will eat the crap out of some chocolate. Like, I have a huge sweet tooth, and chocolate is like my biggest weakness. But when it comes to vaping it, it's just kind of like, all right. But I mean, I enjoyed the mix as much as I could enjoy it for being a chocolate vape. So it was fun. It was fun to mess around with because chocolate can be challenging.
Chocolate is challenging, but that's what makes it fun for me to mix it up in. It's that it is a challenge to make it. It's not something I would vape. So because I'm so critical about it, I keep tasting it and tweaking it, because until I feel like somebody else would enjoy that, then I'm not done. And that makes it a little bit difficult, but it also makes it kind of fun. You know what I mean? Because I'm looking for what somebody else would enjoy out of it. I just hate that it ruined my coils so fast.
Oh yeah, chocolate can do that. How about you, Rin? Did you have a fun time mixing this up?
I had ironically a better go at it than last week, which last week is definitely more my profile than this would be. I think I just lucked out on this version of it because the first version was terrible and it was using s'mores. So I don't know if that's the common thread because I haven't single flavor tested mulberry s'mores, but it gave it like a grainy note that was odd. So I had to scratch it. I'm like, this is. But I also used one-on-one chocolate milk, which I'm also not familiar with. So it could have been either of those.
I think a bunch of us use that flavor.
Yeah, I was noticing that when I was looking through the Facebook group. I noticed that several people use that flavor, and I use that flavor as well.
I use that flavor too.
I actually used to be obsessed. Like the first time I got my s'mores recipe or flavor. Were we talking about s'mores or something? I'm so fucking out of it.
I'm talking about one-on-one chocolate milk.
Never mind then. Never mind.
Well, we were talking about.
I mean, we were talking about s'mores. We were talking about we haven't single flavor tested it. I haven't either, so I don't even know what it would taste like on its own.
I used to be obsessed with it, but now I'm noticing that there's that floral note that Mullenberry is notorious for. Like, have you ever tried that galaxy cheesecake that they have?
I tried it.
They have a galaxy cheesecake, and I believe it's like a blueberry brownie cheesecake or something. And I thought the floral notes from that might have come from the blueberry. But when I vaped the s'mores this time around, I got that floral note that was in that galaxy cheesecake, and it does not belong in desserts.
So. It might be a floral note in the vanilla, like a floral vanilla, which would be awful.
It could be. Something's just accentuating that brightness. Well, let's get into it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
All right.
So originally I used the one-on-one milk, but I tossed it. I completely went a different direction. So I ended up doing a coffee. It's a kind of like if you were to take chocolate milk and add a coffee to it, that's kind of what I get from it with other notes in it. So as the chocolate kind of base, I used Vape Train chocolate mousse at 1%. I used the smooth cappuccino cream from Wonder Flavors at 1% for the coffee. It is a lighter coffee, so it's not super coffee. It's kind of just the balance between like a chocolate milk and a coffee. And then I used graham cracker by Flavora at 0.5%, marshmallow vanilla one-on-one at 1%, and whipped cream by Flavora at 0.5%. I went with the graham cracker here because I tried a couple other graham crackers and they all had like the grainy note to it, which I mean, graham crackers do have that note, but I didn't really want that here. It made the beverage kind of weird. So I went with Flavora because it doesn't have like a super prominent note of that for me. I mainly just get the graham cracker flavor without the graham cracker texture. So that worked. It almost has a toffee effect to it, which was interesting, but it's not out of place. The marshmallow vanilla was for the marshmallow note, plus I like the added note of vanilla, and then the whipped cream is just for whipped cream. It's a little bit darker of a whipped cream to me, opposed to like a one-on-one whipped cream, but I figured that would go better with, because I mean a lot of these are darker notes, so having like a overall dark and then like a bright whipped cream would kind of be weird. Plus the Flavora has again a nice vanilla note, because I like vanilla and chocolate together, kind of like those. I don't know if you guys had this, because like I don't think they've had it in a while, but like McDonald's used to have like the swirl, or Dairy Queen where it's like the chocolate and vanilla together and then it's just like a swirl, like a soft serve.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Yeah, the twist.
Yeah, so I like those flavors together. But yeah, it's good. It's light. I wanted to keep it light because I think the problem I have with chocolate vapes is they're so rich and dense and dark. So I wanted to make this like light. Like I'm actually been vaping it. Like I'm almost through my 10 mil little tester because I don't make anything bigger than that for these recipes. And I've been able to vape it. So.
And you know, that chocolate mousse is freaking delicious. In fact, I used it in one of my versions for this one, and which almost won out. But it's a really good chocolate flavor.
Yeah, and I've heard good things about it. I never used it. So if I can use a flavor I'm not familiar with and make it work in a recipe, it's nice because I get to use that flavor and then, you know, obviously have a good mix. So I lucked out with that one because the one-on-one chocolate milk, I don't know if that was going to work. Because I bought it specifically for this mix, but I don't know. I'll have to work with it alone before trying to use it again to see if I'm getting off notes from it or I was getting off notes from the s'mores.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But there was something funky, and I'm like, oh, hell no.
Yeah, when you're working with especially a couple different darker flavors, you can have some funkiness going on, you know, that
You don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, that's a disadvantage of mixing without doing single flavor testing is you can sometimes make it work, but if you use too many that you're not familiar with, then it's like, okay, well, which one sucks? I don't know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think with the Mullenberry s'mores, there's already a lot going on with that flavor just by itself because it's like a s'mores brownie. It's not even just a standard s'more. It's like a s'mores brownie, which would.
I didn't even pick that one up.
I mean, if you look at the picture, like it would have been perfect if it worked, but yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. This looks really good. I like that you added just a touch of that smooth cappuccino cream. I bet it makes it real nice. Because coffee and chocolate just go so well together.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. I just named mine Milton Icon's S'mores Milkshake. And I did, for the version that ended up winning, there were two that were really super, super close. In fact, they're almost indistinguishable. So if you don't have one-on-one chocolate milk, you can use Vape Train chocolate milk and it'll be the same. Just knock it down to 2% instead of 2.5% one-on-one chocolate milk. Little FYI for you in case you don't have this flavor, because I know not a lot of people have a bunch of one-on-one flavors. And then I added 2% Vape Train honeycomb just for some extra like sticky sweetness, right? I think a lot of chocolates need help in the richness department. And so a lot of people, like a lot of times, Folkart has worked extensively with chocolates and he'll add like a caramel or a butterscotch to it. So, and a lot of people add something like that to their chocolates. I just went with honeycomb because why not? Honeycomb's delicious and it's got that dark, rich, sweetness that I was after. And then I wanted to accentuate the marshmallow a little bit more, being it on top of the picture, on top of the milkshake. I did 1% flavor art marshmallow. And then I did 1.5% Wonder Flavors S'mores Cupcake. And to me, it thickens it up really nicely. It's not too bready. Like, you're not like, oh, this is a cupcake, not a milkshake. It just thickens it up. It gives it just a touch of that graham note that a s'mores after. And it's just really tasty. I like it. One thing with s'mores cupcake, I noticed, if you're not careful what you use with it, it can kind of come out tasting a little bit like a liqueur, which I think is why I didn't go with my original version, which used Vape Train chocolate mousse. Not that Vape Train chocolate mousse isn't an excellent chocolate, because it is, and you should have it. If you don't already, you should get it. But the two combined kind of tasted liquorish, and it's.
You almost tongue twisted yourself there.
What's that?
You almost tongue twisted yourself.
Yeah. There. But this has turned out really nice. It's rich and decadent, and it's got it's sweet. There's not too much of anything. Like, it seems pretty well balanced to me. I really like it. It's pretty tasty.
Yeah, I haven't used that s'mores cupcake. I forgot I had it. I have so many flavors. It's like, and then they spell it weird. So it's like if you were to like search for s'more, you're not necessarily
It's
gonna
just
find
S apostrophe M, like s'mores.
Yeah.
S'mores.
S'mores.
Yeah, s'mores.
Those Canadians.
No, that's how you spell s'mores, because it's a contraction.
Yeah.
Of some more.
S'mores. I want more s'mores.
Yep. Anyway.
Contraction. That's my English lesson for the day. English is my second language. That's
Really?
my disclosure.
All right, who's going next? Let's get this show rolling.
Let's get the show going. Do we have too much awkward silence? I don't mind going next. Let's do this.
All right.
I will show mine. If you showed me yours, it's my turn to show you mine.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Down, down, down. Anyways,
You get yours this week, Jen.
so I did mine my way, as I always do. So it has a lot of thought into it, and it turned out pretty good. I did use that chocolate milk from OOO. It did not have enough chocolate for me. It was more of a cream, like a light chocolate, like more milk than chocolate is what for me. So it definitely needed more chocolate. So I used Mullenberry Glamour chocolate on it, and I used that at 2%. And the chocolate milk, I used that at 5%. I didn't want to go to the 10%. I've seen some people use it at 10% because I have single flavor tested it before, and I didn't find much of a difference when I bumped it all the way up as to when I use it about 5%. However, I will also disclose that this recipe does need steep. It does need steep because chocolate to me does not taste good without steep.
Right. Definitely.
I added the Bounty because Bounty has a little bit of a coconut note. Now, to enhance my milk note in the chocolate milk, I was either going to do almond or I was going to do some sort of coconut. And I decided that why not add a little more chocolate and a little bit of coconut to it without just adding coconut to it. The thought behind that is to actually bring up the milk without making it any more buttery, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I used that Bounty at 1.5%. So I didn't lose any chocolate by adding the additional cream note that was in there, but I wanted to keep the milk in a white milk note. So I did not want to bring any caramel in there. So I used toasted marshmallow, which is also a dark marshmallow with a little bit of burnt notes in it. But when you mix it in with chocolate, you kind of lose the burnt, but you get the depth from the toastiness of it. Then I added AP to it at 0.3%. And I know that some people prefer to use a cookie instead of the AP, but almost all cookies have a certain amount of sweetness that I was avoiding. Because once again, I'm getting my sweetness from my toasted marshmallow, from the Glamour chocolate, from the Bounty. There was no more sweetness needed in this, in my opinion. So I totally left the cookie notes out or the graham cracker because those would have darkened it up too much, and I wanted a milk, like a whiteness about it. And that's where the toasted marshmallow comes in. So then I use Sour Wizard because to me, Sour Wizard makes the separation of the chocolate from the milk. Period. Bottom line, in a story, it's just my little thing. And I boosted that all the way to 1%, which gives the chocolate a certain amount of saltiness. But it's not a saltiness. It's like an illusion of salt. And it's not really salt. It's just that bitter note that you get from chocolate. I don't even know how to describe what it does to it. But you can, I think, in my opinion, I can definitely separate the chocolate milk from the marshmallows within and the drizzle of chocolate. I mean, it is deep and thick and really chocolatey, this recipe. It's good, just not something I would vape all the time because I hate the way chocolate burns my coils up.
Yeah. You get that, like, where your coils even get the slightest bit dry, then they just taste horribly burnt and they're still wet.
And there is that after vape smell in the house with this. So it does leave that burnt brownies note behind.
I'm interested in knowing how much coconut do you get from this?
You don't hardly find it at all.
Okay.
It just makes it brings out the milk part of the chocolate milk.
I need to get some Bounty in my life, maybe.
If you vape Bounty by itself, you get plenty of coconut. So
in this mix,
it does not. If you use it properly, it does not. If you're using it as a backdrop to other milks and other chocolates or even other fruits, it does not. It's not very far out there.
Yeah, I think the one thing that makes excuse me, one-on-one chocolate milk so good is that it's rich and deep, and milky, but it's not that chocolatey. Like, so it doesn't have like the chocolate off notes that a lot of chocolates have, which is why I use, because s'mores cupcake to me has a lot of chocolate to it. And why you use Glamour Chocolate and Bounty, to kind of back it up. And I think going that route by using one or two, excuse me, additional chocolates to layer together is the way to go, so that you don't get any off notes.
And I tried it with TFA. I did try it with TFA chocolate double clear, and it just was not helping the milk very much. And it was coming through in a kind of weird way. And then I tried it. What was the other one? The red, the one that's red, that's chocolate from TFA, and that's
Ruby chocolate.
Which one? Ruby chocolate. Yeah,
Ruby
I tried
chocolate.
that in it as well. And that one came out better, but then it was pronouncing too much of a sweetness that was
too
weird.
Bright, right? Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a rich, dark, creamy chocolate, where Ruby chocolate is very bright and sweet,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's good that you noted that you can use the chocolate milk from Vape Train. I don't have that one, but it's good to know that I don't need that one then.
Yeah, you don't. They're very, at least in my mix, they tasted like the same. I could not tell the difference between version 2 and version 3. And so now maybe on your own, if you're doing a single flavor test, I don't remember if I noted a difference, or if I even did them back to back at that time for noted. But in this mix, there's no difference. So probably in any mixes, you probably won't, unless you are using them at like 4 or 5% or something maybe. But at my levels, there was no difference. So you probably don't need Vape Train chocolate milk too.
Got it. Good to know. That was a good pointer.
Awesome.
Loomy.
Loomy. Loomy.
My fucking webcam is being hateful. It's turning me into a ghost, and I'm a ghost, but I'm not this ghostly. It's hateful. Hateful. Anyways, I'm giving up with it. I'm gonna look ghostly.
It might be your light.
I have no idea what's been going on with it lately. It's just, I give up. So, anyways, people may have noticed that I did a stream that was called Shh, Don't Tell Emily on my channel, where I actually made this literally today.
And you streamed it?
And the title of it was Shh, Don't Tell Emily.
That's hilarious.
Because we know that I am such a ninja. I'm so discreet at doing all of this. So if I end up messing up my thought process or anything, there is a stream of me mixing this. The reason behind mixing it today at 8 o'clock in the morning was because I did get s'mores in, and I really wanted to use s'mores. I thought it was going to be exactly nope, now I saw chat, I got distracted. It was not what I wanted. At the time, it seemed like it would be perfect for what I wanted, but I don't know. I don't know if I should have stuck with my first recipe, or I don't know. I don't know, man. But anyways, I made this. I'm okay with it. It's not my cup of tea for a chocolate, though. So my thought process, or I guess I should do what I used and whatnot. I used chocolate mousse VTA at 1.22% to back up the s'mores by Mullenberry, which I used at 4.68%. Used cream by Flavora to kind of moisten it up and, oh god, to make it liquidier, yep. And then powdered sugar by 1-on-1 to help the marshmallow coating. And I used powdered sugar at 0.29%. And then I used vanilla marshmallow 1-on-1 at 1.14 to go for marshmallows and shit. Yep.
This looks delicious as well. I've never tried that Mullenberry s'mores brownies though. Have you by any chance tried that close to or around the same time as Wonder Flavor S'mores cupcakes?
I haven't tried Wonder Flavor S'mores cupcake, and I'm really disappointed that I didn't because I thought about it. But I remember loving S'mores by Mullenberry so much when it was just, I was vaping it as a one shot at 6%. And so that's why I redid the recipe last minute because I just loved this one so much. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if the floral notes that I'm getting will go away or if there's something wrong with my mouth, but I'm getting some kind of floral note, which I do tend to get with a lot of Mullenberry flavors. It's really familiar to the Galaxy cheesecake floral note.
I just tasted Mullenberry S'mores in my hand, and I don't find any floral notes in it. And it's so good.
You know, it might be interacting with the vape train chocolate mousse maybe the same way the S'mores cupcake turned out kind of liqueurish with my chocolate mousse. Like maybe there's just something like a sharpness or a brightness in the chocolate mousse that maybe interacts differently. Because I know on its own and in other mixes, it doesn't, and there's no off note, and it's a delicious chocolate. But maybe there's something in like a s'mores type, flavor that does that. It's a possibility.
Actually, now that I've let it sit in my palate a little longer, there is a slight floral note that does come through after it's set.
Yeah.
So there is, and it's even got a little bit of that. What's that chocolate candy that everybody says chocolate tastes like? The
Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll. Yeah, it's even got a little bit of the Tootsie Roll taste to it.
Like the double chocolate clear. Yeah. I don't know if I might have had like a cold or something, but basically the first time I got that flavor, I used it within a week. So much so that my husband had gotten one puff off of my vape. It then asked me to make him some, and I was like, it's gone already, because I was vaping it like I was vaping Bayless. But now I'm getting that floral note, and I just don't think it belongs in a dessert. So I'm just like, scrap this. I'm gonna go.
Have you moved along from Bayless?
Are
you still in love with it?
I'm still in love with Bayless. Here's my most recent bottle that I made last night.
There you go. That's all that matters, as long as you're not smoking, right?
Got my Bayless still. Oh no, I would mix other stuff if I had to. It's just Bayless has been the only thing I could.
You just why? You found something that you like and it works. So why fix what's not broken, right?
I've been trying to vape all the crap that I have around here this last 3 weeks. I've just been really trying to make myself, because it's just too much. It's just too much. I'm too wasteful, and Team Free shit just doesn't come get enough stuff from me to get it all out of here. But I get some surprises because me and my labels.
Yep. You and your labels, or lack thereof, drive me crazy.
Yeah. So then I'm like, what is this? I don't know. Hold on. Let me put it in this squonk bottle. And then I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with this for the next 4 or 5 hours.
All right. We did have a couple play-alongs. Let's go over them, shall we? We have 3 people play along.
Yeah, and one of them was the person that actually turned it in.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. And
who submitted the picture?
Sam.
It was Sam. All right, let's start with Sam.
Sam Harborn.
Good old Sam, also known as I Am Sam on ELR.
It wasn't that Sam that turned it in. It was Sam Harborn, which is another Sam. But I Am Sam also turned in a recipe. So We'll start with him and then we'll move to Sam.
All right. Well, I Am Sam. He did a s'mores milkshake. And he also used 101 chocolate milk. And that's the flavor of the day, guys. 4% 101 chocolate milk. 0.5% Hankson French vanilla ice cream. 2.5% Flavor West graham cracker. 4% DX peanut butter by the Flavor Apprentice, 4% s'mores brownie by Mullenberry, 0.5% Capella Super Sweet, 1.5% toasted marshmallow, and 3% liquid barn vanilla ice cream. This, he says, Colt said this was verified AF, but that's not that verified, if you ask me. But it looks pretty darn good. Like, I wouldn't have expected the peanut butter in there, but that's the best peanut butter to use if you're going to use a peanut butter.
Yeah, and I don't think it's verified. I think that he just probably thought it was verified because he probably expected to be able to just use that chocolate milk and add maybe one or two things to it, and then ended up having to pull other things in.
Yeah, that use of that French vanilla ice cream by Hinkson, that was smart, Sam. That was a good idea. I like it. I like the looks of this. Really good. It looks very rich and decadent and creamy.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right, and the next one we've got by Nuggie or Noogie on ELR. He just called it Overload. Hashtag MB. He used 1.5% Real Flavors aged bourbon cream, 1.5% caramel toffee by Hankson, 2% one-on-one chocolate milk, flavor of the day, 0.25% of Wonder Flavors cocoa, 1.25% Vape Train desiccated coconut, 2.25% Vape Train French vanilla ice cream, 1% one-on-one marshmallow vanilla, and 1.25% FA whipped cream. Very nice. You know, I don't have any experience with that Wonder Flavors cocoa.
I definitely don't have any experience with that Wonder Flavor cocoa. I have no idea what it would taste like. It's a good one to order if you like chocolate because, I mean, just like people that like strawberry need to have all the strawberries. People that like chocolate need to have all the chocolates because they're not
all the chocolates.
And they're all going to be different.
Yeah, I would think, I mean, based on the name, that it's more of a drier, like cocoa powder type flavor. But yeah, I need to work with that, mess around with it, and try it out. Thank you for sharing, Noogie. The Nugmeister.
The Nugmeister.
Alrighty, and last but not least, Brett, I believe his name is.
Let's not forget Sam. He actually put it in the comments. He didn't put his attachment to it, and he's above. Nope, he's Sam Harborn. He's actually in the comments on the Facebook group.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and go over Sam's, and then we'll do Rum Pirate.
Yeah, we'll do that. So Sam Harborn did chocolate milk just like me, and when I saw his, I was like, oh my god, I have one just a lot like it because I did have one that was very close to this. However, it was not the one that I used for the Mix and Vixen show. Not because it was bad, but because I think that the chocolate I used was stronger. So he used the chocolate milk at 10%, which is an excellent percentage on its own. He used Cap Double Chocolate V2 at 1.5%. That's a pretty good percentage to boost that chocolate note. He used Flavora Caramel at 1%, which is a very known a lot of people use caramel with chocolates to darken them up. But I'm sorry, my dog is deciding to whine. Flavora whipped cream at 1%, and that probably adds to that cream note. Toasted marshmallow at 1.5%, and Flavora sweetness at 0.5%. To me, this looks like a really good creamy chocolate, deep, sweet mix. So it looks very
Sounds like it.
He said that he posted this. His notes were, I submitted this picture ages ago in hopes that it would get picked. Can't wait to see what you all do with it. So he was excited for the show.
Awesome. Well, thank you for submitting the picture and thank you for playing along. That sounds pretty interesting. And I like how a lot of people are using the toasted marshmallow in this. It's one of those
Toasted
flavors
marshmallow
that,
and chocolate really do go well together.
yes, yeah, chocolate needs like a toasty, dark, kind of sweet, flavor. And toasted marshmallow is something that I don't really use very often anymore, but it's nice to come back to.
Yeah, I don't use it often anymore either, but I just from experience, I knew that it goes with chocolate. So I pulled it out. It's good to come up with recipes that use some of these flavors that we all have in the back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Very good, Sam. Thank you so much. All right, now last but not least is Rum Pirate on ELR. He did Toasted Chocolate Chug Jug. And he did Bounty at 3.25%, 2% Flavor West Caramel Candy, 1.5% Wonder Flavors Chocolate Chunk, 0.75% Flavora Chocolate Deutsch, 2% Graham Cracker Clear, 1% Sweet Cream by Vape Train, 1.5% Toasted Marshmallow by TFA, and then 2% Flavor West Whipped Cream. This looks delicious as well. And like you've got you got a really good chocolate to me. Both chocolate chunks and chocolate Deutsch are really good chocolates. So I bet those are really great. And then when you pair that with like a caramel candy from Flavor West to kind of boost it, and the toasted marshmallow, yeah.
This definitely looks pretty interesting, and it looks like it's going to have, how the graham cracker has a little bit, between the Bounty and the chocolate Deutsch, there's definitely going to be a little bit of a coconut note to this.
Yes.
So it's going to be like a coconut milk chocolate mix. It's going to be, I think this looks wonderful.
And coconut and chocolate is good too, because coconut gives you that fatty, like rich sweetness that chocolate just screams for,
I agree.
So awesome. Well, Rum Pirate, thank you so much for playing along. That looks good as well. Everyone did such a good job. They all looked so good. So let's just go on to show what we're going to do next week. And this is like, I guess it could be anything. To me, it looks like a blackberry lemon tart. And it was submitted by Karen Seabolt. And I think it'll be fun to work on. Something a little bit brighter, a little bit lighter, something nice for summer. A little creamy. It'll be fun.
Something different for sure.
Well, and it's purple.
It's purple. Yeah, it doesn't have to be blackberry. It could be blueberry or raspberry or.
Why don't I just do a grape milk?
It could be grape. Yeah. If we don't know what it is, it could be black currant. It could be a black currant lemon tart.
Grape ice cream.
Or a grape banana cream pie.
Dimetep.
There you go. Yeah. So who knows? It's up to you, your discretion, guys. I hope you all play along, and it'll be exciting to see what you guys come up with as well. So, all right. Is there anything else that we need to cover before we thank the sponsors and get on out of here? Ah! Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Tech Producer. That scared the crap out of us.
Lumi is having a day.
That was loud.
Next week we won't be on. We're gonna give all you fathers a day off so you can spend it with your family, and we will resume. So we'll do the blackberry tart, lemon tart thing not next week, but the week after. So don't forget us by then. We'll see you then.
Let's thank our Did we thank all our sponsors already?
We have not. Why don't you go right ahead?
Thank you, Bull City, for always being there for us. Thank you, Wayne, for having us on your show. Flavora for being one of our sponsors, all the flavors. And do we have somebody else?
I don't think so, but if you like us and you want to support us in a fun, tasty way,
And don't even ask me.
head on over to flavorjungle.com and check out our one-shots.
Sounds
Okay. And
And
Lumi,
silence.
Lumi's
Gotta
got
love
some cool things. Message
Oh,
Lumi for some.
Yeah, if you don't want a flavy, tasty one shot and you want to support this mixer in another way, just get you some Lumi braids.
Or
or
you
Lumi
can get
stamp.
both things.
Huh?
Or you can do both things. You can get the tasty one shots and get some Lumi braids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us
Yeah.
all the love.
Do it
We
all.
want your love.
And
Yeah.
hit like at the end of this show so that we know that you've watched it and you really enjoyed it. Not that it does anything because YouTube doesn't like us anymore, but it still lets us know that you liked it.
Yeah, it does. It warms our heart. That's all that matters, right?
Yes.
It warms our heart, guys. All right. We'll see you all week after next. Everybody have a good Father's Day.